As the LEGO Minecraft world continues to expand, some of those holes between the modules become all the more obvious. One such gap is the one found in the front left corner in front of the Pillager outpost, and today we're going to be filling that gap with the Savanna expansion. At first glance, such a biome seems an easy one to recreate in LEGO, but if you watch the previous Savanna episode with the Pillager outpost, you'll know that it presents some interesting challenges. First of all, financially with some rare colors, but also it boasts one of the hardest to build tree types in the game. And on top of that, we need to make sure this corner of the display is rounded out nicely and brings the ocean and the shore of the Savanna neatly together. So what are we waiting for? Let's get to building. Our beachside savanna is going to be exactly one chunk. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be bridging the ocean biome and the savanna biome together. So we're going to get a bit of a beach here. As you can see underneath, I do have the blocks in place for this to line up with the previous episode's warm ocean ruined portal. The first step here is going to be finishing off the water. I'll be using the same techniques I employed in the adjacent Mushroom Island module, using a combination of transparent and dark blues to achieve that rich color of water that you find in the game. The thick layers of plates here also make sure that this is plenty strong, as it is going to be floating over the underwater sections that we're building. There's no support pillars to hold these in place, we're just relying on the strength of the bricks. All that will become a bit more apparent once we get the underground modules properly installed. But I do believe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. For now, I have to worry about placing who knows how many 1x2 trans dark blue tiles. Thankfully, I have a ton of these left over from when I initially built the Mushroom Island. I bought plenty with the intention of hopefully never having to order them again. Bear in mind, there will be one other water beach section on the opposite side of the Mushroom Island. So we're not done with these 1x2 tiles quite yet. I do really enjoy the reflective quality of the transparent bricks. It's something that would not work nearly as well with a regular opaque blue. Now we can begin to build up the terrain. It is going to be a bit higher, a bit more dramatic of a beach. No turtles on this one. We're going to save turtles for the opposite beach later down the road. And now we're coming up on our first technical challenge of this build, which is the addition of an Acacia village farm. And if you're familiar with how I've done villages and specifically village pathing in the past, you know that I want to get that game accurate, slightly lowered look for the dirt path block. And that's accomplished using a very interesting series of brackets to lower these paths exactly by half a plate. If you're interested in recreating this look for yourself, I'd suggest my village expansion episode where I break down the technique in more detail. Longtime viewers might notice something significant about this little sub-assembly, and that's the fact that I've used the olive green flower stem, which I am committed to using throughout this module, and replacing all of the green flower stems in the Pillager Outpost module. That little piece right there sets you back about $1.50 per, and so I really could not do this episode without the support of members, so thank you guys, I appreciate you. You allow me to make terrible financial decisions. As this module is going to be at the very front of the display, I don't want the terrain to be too tall because otherwise it would cover up some of the modules behind it. Though that would be pretty difficult since the module behind it is the Pillager Outpost. Regardless, we're going to keep it relatively flat and traversable. Acacia Village farms are quite chaotic, and I do like that about them a lot. It has a variety of crops and blocks mixed in, such as fence posts, grass, and a composter. Here I'll be using wheat and pumpkins for our crops. For the pumpkins, I'm actually going to be using a full block rather than the player heads that LEGO sets have historically used, and that's just because there's nothing special about those player heads. They have no printing like the melon blocks do, so I don't feel too attached to them. But anyway, we're now at a point where we can, you guessed it, do some sweet tiling time. Now comes the scary part, olive green stems. And this is where I want to give a special shout out to TE Brickworks, who hand delivered 3 olive green flower stems to me to be used in the display. Thank you so much. You better believe these are being put to good use. And thanks to the many others who made monetary donations to ensure that this display could be filled with that beautiful olive green piece. Next, I'm going to be making our second acacia tree in the display. These are really fun and quite challenging. For the acacia logs, I'm using old gray to make it stand out from the rocks that you'll find everywhere else. And I'm using plenty of snot techniques to ensure that there are no anti-studs visible anywhere on these trees. They're quite satisfying to look at. I've decided to follow in Lego's footsteps and make these acacia trees dark green leaved instead of olive green. It's just an easier color to work with, first of all, as there are more parts available in it, and I like the contrast that it provides for this biome. I think it would just be a bit too dull if the tree was the same color as the ground beneath it. Honestly though, the main reason I even made this module in particular was to have a place to showcase my Savanna villagers, which were included in last year's The Llama Village. I absolutely love villagers, and not having a home for these guys just seemed wrong to me. I'll also be including the horse that was included in the second crafting box, and we'll put another player skin in here too. This is the pirate from the pirate ship Adventure. He's holding an axe and some seeds. And that's going to finish off our Beachside Savanna. It's a module that doesn't feel too cluttered, but still has plenty of fun details and Easter eggs for the LEGO Minecraft fan, with those rather rare figures, and of course, those notorious olive green flower stems. Though I must admit that I do prefer the olive green stems over the regular green any day. Was it worth the $50 that it cost? I'll let you be the judge of that. This is going to be a particularly satisfying module to attach to the display. Things are really starting to come together. I love seeing transition modules like this. Blending the ocean and the savanna together just really completes this area so nicely. And to finally have something in this front corner just feels great. In fact, the only thing missing from the warm side of the display at this point is a 3x1 empty void in the back corner behind the Mesa Badlands. Not entirely sure what I'm going to put there yet, but hopefully I'll be able to expand that mineshaft backwards a bit, and maybe, just maybe, make use of some more sand red? We'll see. But what I think this really shows is that we need to give the colder side of the layout a bit more love. And that's why next episode will be the start of a snowy village. If you're interested in watching that episode early, all you need to do is become a channel member to get early access to all my LEGO Minecraft videos. And speaking of channel members, this video would not have been possible without them, because they enabled me to make terrible financial decisions like buying a whole bunch of olive green grass stems. Thank you guys, I do appreciate you. And thank you everyone else for simply taking the time to watch this. I'm glad that after all this time this series still resonates with people and that you still enjoy it. Have yourself a great life, and I'll see you in the next episode.